So let's say you've just learned, unfortunately, that you're living in a contaminated community. Your air, your water, your soil. And the question is my government going to help me? Specifically, is my state government, my environmental protector, going to come in and protect me? The answer that I've learned over 20 years of doing this, and I learn again and again with every new case, is no. Here's something that just happened in the state of Michigan in a case that I'm working on. The people that I represent wanted to go into federal court and make use of a very powerful federal law that would force the polluter to clean up. But they have to give notice under the law. They have to give 90 days notice to the polluter and to the state. So they did that. And on day 80, the state filed a lawsuit against the polluter, which blocked the citizens from filing a lawsuit. Now sometimes that happens. What was so bad about this one, though, was the reason why. Once they got my notice, the polluter contacted the state and said, will you protect us against these people who want to sue us? Will you file a sweetheart lawsuit against us so that we can control how much we spend on cleaning up, whether we clean up, when we clean up, how thoroughly we clean up? As a result of collusion with the state of Michigan, the polluter, not the people most affected, are in control of whether, when, and how the cleanup proceeds. A horrible example of the state, as they do again and again, coming down on the side not of the families that they're supposed to protect, but the one who caused the problem in the first place, the polluter. Now, that's an example from the state of Michigan, but it's not unique to Michigan. In almost every state that I've been in on my cases, some version of this is going on. Indiana, Wisconsin, Illinois, all throughout the Midwest, Ohio. These state regulators, when you really observe their behavior, they're much more interested in protecting the polluter than the people. And it's important that the people understand that so they can expect from minute one that they're not going to get any help from their government. Now, it's a terrible thing to say because most people believe, and I used to believe more than 20 years ago before I got started in this work, that you pay your taxes to the government. And one of the things you're paying taxes for is a clean environment, that your health is protected. And so I assume, millions of people throughout this country assume, if you're not hearing from your government that there's a problem with your air or your water, then you don't have a problem. Not true. Not true. Because another thing I learn again and again in these cases is that the problem that the people learn about, for example, for the first time in 2018, government knew about for years or decades before that and didn't tell them about it. Now, why does this stuff go on? Well, I'll give you some of the reasons why, but my conclusion is going to be, I don't think to you it really matters because you're not being protected, but here's some of the reasons why. Sometimes the people in charge of, in power, in a state government, they like business. They want to help business pollute and reduce their costs so they don't have to clean up, and they're making the decisions, and they don't put any money into environmental enforcement. Sometimes the environmental enforcers, frankly, just don't really care, or they're not very good at their job, or they don't really understand what their job is. Sometimes there's a corrupt relationship between the government and the polluter. And there's other reasons beside that too. Government is underfunded. They don't have the staff, they don't have the lawyers, they don't have the scientists that are necessary to protect people. And so as we have two things going on moving in opposite directions at the same time, that as our society becomes more and more polluted, and the effects of dumping, chemical dumping years ago, now start to take hold in our society at that very time that we need more help in terms of lawyers and scientists to protect us, we get less. No matter what the reason is, though, the truth of it is, you can't count on your state government and your so-called environmental protector to protect you. So what do you do? Well, this may sound like a commercial for me and other lawyers who do this kind of work. I make no apologies for it. You should contact an environmental lawyer and somebody who will be working for you, and you won't have any doubt about it, who's experienced in the field and can not only fight the polluter, but also somebody else who you're going to have to fight, and that is the government regulator who, when you see them behave like they think they're actually working for the polluter.